Sylvester Stallone's story is one of the most powerful examples of perseverance, faith, and self-belief in modern history. Imagine being so passionate about your dream that you're willing to face rejection after rejection, hunger and humiliation, yet still refuse to give up. That's exactly what Stallone did. His journey is not just about Hollywood, movies, or fame. It's about life itself, about how we can face our struggles and come out stronger. Sylvester Stallone was not born into comfort. He grew up in a tough environment in New York City. As a child, he faced challenges from the very start. Due to complications at birth, the lower left side of his face was partially paralyzed, giving him a slurred speech and his iconic crooked smile. Kids bullied him, teachers underestimated him, and even as an adult, casting agents laughed him out of auditions. They told him he would never make it in Hollywood because of the way he looked and talked. But instead of letting these rejections define him, Stallone used them as fuel. He decided he wouldn't give up. He wanted to prove to the world and to himself that he had something unique to offer. For years, he struggled as an unknown actor. He took tiny roles in low-budget films and sometimes couldn't even afford to eat. There were moments when he had so little money that he had to sell his dog, his best friend, just to survive. He cried as he walked away, but he promised himself he would buy him back one day. Most people would have quit by then. Most people would have said, maybe this isn't for me, maybe I'm not meant to succeed. But Stallone had something rare. He had grit. He had a burning desire that no failure could extinguish. One night, Stallone watched a boxing match between Muhammad Ali and Chuck Wepner. Wepner was a huge underdog, but he shocked the world by lasting almost the entire fight against Ali. That fight lit a fire in Stallone's mind. He thought, this is it. This is my story. This is the metaphor for life. And underdog refusing to stay down. In just 3 days, Sylvester Stallone wrote the first draft of Rocky. He poured his soul into it. It wasn't just a script. It was his life on paper. A man with nothing, fighting against the odds, refusing to quit. When Stallone took the script to Hollywood producers, something amazing happened. They loved it. They saw its power. They offered him $125,000 for the script, which was a huge amount of money at the time. For Stallone, who could barely pay rent, this was life-changing. But there was a catch. They didn't want him to star in it. They wanted a famous actor to play Rocky Balboa. And here is where Stallone made the boldest decision of his life. He refused the money. Imagine being broke, hungry, and desperate, and someone offers you more money than you've ever seen, but you say no. Why? Because you believe so strongly in your dream that you will not compromise. Stallone told them, I will only sell this script if I get to play Rocky. The producers laughed in his face. They said he didn't look like a hero, that his voice was too strange, and that audiences wouldn't believe in him. But Stallone stood his ground. Eventually, the studio gave in, but only on a small budget. They agreed to let Stallone star in the movie, but they would pay him much less, and the film would be made cheaply. Stallone didn't care. He had his chance. When Rocky was released in 1976, it shocked the world. Audiences loved it. Critics praised it. The movie went on to win 3 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. It became one of the greatest underdog stories ever told, not just on the screen, but behind the scenes too. Stallone didn't just create a character, he created a symbol. Rocky Balboa became the voice of every underdog, every dreamer, every person who had ever been told they weren't good enough. And Stallone's real-life journey mirrored the very story he brought to life. Stallone faced rejection after rejection. Casting directors told him he would never succeed. Life tested him with poverty and despair. Yet he refused to quit. When life tells you no, you have a choice. You can give up, or you can keep fighting. The people who win are not always the most talented. They are the ones who refuse to quit. When the producers told Stallone he couldn't star in Rocky, he had every reason to take the money and walk away. But he didn't. He believed in himself when no one else did. That belief was the foundation of his success. If you don't believe in yourself, why should anyone else? Stallone's struggles weren't wasted. His pain gave him the fuel to create Rocky. His suffering became his story. We all face pain, but the secret is to turn that pain into power, to use it as energy for something greater. Your struggles can be your strength if you let them. And let's not forget, after his success, Stallone kept his promise. With his earnings, he went back to buy his dog. In fact, he paid a lot more than he sold it for, but he didn't care. That moment was symbolic. It was proof that persistence pays off. That even when life forces you to give up something precious, if you keep fighting, you can reclaim what you've lost, and more. Today, Stallone is not just an actor. He's a global icon. His story continues to inspire millions of people around the world. But the real magic of his journey is not in the fame or the fortune. It's in the message. You are never too small, too poor, too rejected, or too broken. To win, life will knock you down. That's guaranteed. But like Rocky said, it's not about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. So, ask yourself, what is your Rocky story? What dream are you holding on to, even when the world tells you it's impossible? Are you willing to face rejection, sacrifice, and pain for it? Because if you are, then nothing can stop you. Remember, Sylvester Stallone was just a struggling actor with a dream. He had no money, no connections, and no advantages. But he had determination. And that determination turned failure into glory. The truth is, we all have a Rocky inside of us. We all have a dream worth fighting for. The only question is, will you get up after being knocked down? Will you keep moving forward when life hits hard? If Stallone could do it, so can you.